Well, good morning. Good morning. Welcome, peeps. Peeps. Today's October 7th, and significant day because it's my son's birthday. I don't think he watches. I know he watches, but happy birthday, Dan. He is, oh my gosh, 28. Oh, he's a man. He's a man now. Anyways, so good to see everybody. Let's see, what does Apple Watch say today? 62. It's going to be sunny out today here in Kansas City. Well, today is free day, open mic day, if you will, or whatever you all want to talk about. So I got to wait till some of you peeps get on. Somebody's on, but it's open mic day. It's what you want to talk about today. Now, let's see. Where are we live? Well, it looks like we're live on YouTube. Catch me there on my YouTube channel. We're live on jscottmcmillan.com, which is cool. And we're live on my Facebook pages. And if there's any confusion, the event that comes on the Facebook page that comes up before I go live, when I go live, it doesn't come live in that screen. I don't know why, but it comes live. You have to refresh the page. So if you're here, you know that, but next time, if there was some confusion, if you're seeing the countdown and then you're seeing the live, but I'm not live, just refresh the page or come back into it, and it will show up. And what else? Yeah, you can always catch it on jscottmcmillan.com, which is kind of cool. And I stream it live there on YouTube. It's also on Twitter, jscottmcmillan. On my Twitter. So, anyways, like I said, today is open mic day. I don't have anything planned or prepared today. Although, if you all don't come up with something, I'm going to read from my book, which should be fun. I'm going to read from my book. But I'd love to talk about anything y'all want to talk about. Let's see if my camera's in focus here. Hello, camera. You look out of focus to me. That's weird. Why is it? I don't know. Do I look out of focus? Whoever is on, pop in there and let me know if I'm out of focus. I think when I go in close, it doesn't refocus. It's supposed to. Or maybe it's just slow. Hello? I don't think it's working. Hopefully I'm in focus back here. I'll try not to move around too much. All right, so what else is going on? Drinking my Starbucks coffee concentrate, actually cold brew concentrate, and then I put some water and a little coconut almond milk, a little, I was going to say stevia, no, Truvia, a little Truvia. And that's my drink when I'm not at Starbucks, where I have my nitro cold brew, which you know is my fave. All right. So what's going on in the world? I got to do the intro. Let's just do the intro. I kind of like the intro. So we'll see you in a minute. Living the hero life. I got a new gadget that I haven't been able to play with. Let's see if I can bring it up over here. Ooh, it's called a Stream Deck. And it will allow me to run these live shows without having to click too much. So basically, you can program each of these keys to a specific function. So if I want to run a scene or run that intro, or switch cameras, or bring a guest in, or any number of a bazillion things, I can program it into one of these keys and then just hit the key and it pops up. So I haven't played with it yet. I had to actually reload my computer with the latest Mac OS, which is a little scary. I think I was 2 versions down, so it took almost an hour and a half to load it, and I haven't really even checked out all the functions to make sure things work. Most everything seems to be working, but when you upgrade, it's always nervous about that it's not gonna something's gonna mess up. So I was nervous about it. I backed up everything, which is key. In case it didn't work, I could always go back to the old version. But it seems to be working. Other than my camera looks like it's out of focus. Dang it. That's bugging me. But oh well. What if I did this? Hold on. I'm going to try something here. Where's the button? Oh. Hold on. Oh, there it went in focus. Okay. Well, now. Okay. Yay. It's not bugging me anymore. All right. What should we start with today? I wonder if these, let's see if these things work. That worked. See, I'll be able to punch a button here and not even have to even think about it. Boom. Well, lots of clapping. All right. Let's just go right to the meme of the week. And let's see. This one is another universe. Want to know what's better than having it all? Way, way better. Not having it all. But knowing its inevitability. In a never-ending adventure that's just barely begun. Yeehaw! The universe. I didn't do that one before, did I? I don't think so. Alright, cool. That's a good meme. That's the universe. Oh, look. Boom. Sorry about that. Let's unpack that for a bit. What's better than having it all? Wow, because I'm always talking about, you can have it all because you're an infinite being. But knowing of its inevitability is a never-ending adventure. I guess that's the key, because it's always leaning into having it all, leaning into being able to have it all. And it's a mindset, right? But it's, if you wake up every morning believing and knowing that you can have it all, may not have it all right now, but when you're leaning into it, that's what gives us the drive to move forward every day. And it's inevitable. And just knowing that is amazing and fun, according to the universe, which sends me emails every day. And I put them up here for you when I think they connect with my message, which this one does. So if you're on today, say hello. And it's free for all. It's open mic Wednesday. Open mic, Hero Life Hump Day Live open mic. It's not really open mic, but it's ask me any questions. Ask me anything. What are we going to talk about today? It's up to you. It's your show. I will talk about and I try to answer any questions you have except for politics. I'm just not going to go there. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. And if y'all don't come up with something, I'm going to read from my book, which should be fun. And we'll probably do that anyways, unless we just have so many great comments and questions, which I haven't seen any yet. So don't be shy. Come on here. Just at least say hi. You say hi. Hello. Say hello. I'm a little loopy today. I've had a weird week. Wait, today's only Wednesday. Yeah, it's hump day. So today's hump day. So we're going to get past today. And we'll be good. Good morning, Adiana. All right, Adiana, it's up to you to pick what we're going to talk about, at least generally. Question, topic, and you're my energy gal, so you're lady A, not Lady A, you're just A. Yeah, so what was I talking about? I was just having a weird week, and I slept in a little bit today. Thank goodness I got a little caffeine going. Yeah. So what should we talk about? Well, I've got a few news items here. I kind of winged these, so let's just see what we got here. Oh, hold on. Oh, I covered it up. Let's see. What if I do this? Make it bigger. Yeah. Okay, what are we even looking at here? This one is... I know, Adiana, but you can do it. You can do it. Just ask me a question. Something to talk about. I mean, you and I, we talk about stuff in our cohort and our energy class all the time. So it should be something interesting. What does this say? This stargazing road trip offers world-class night views. Why did I pick this one? Oh, I think because it had pictures, but they didn't come up. Okay, scrap that one. Sorry, fail. Let's do this one. Okay, I'm trying to get it big here. Oh, these are kind of fun. One sentence truth bombs for people that are worth, from people that are worth paying attention to. So, these are kind of fun. Let's see these. Some of these I don't get, but okay, this is funny because my name is Scott, but it says, how about no, Scott? Dr. Evil, Austin Powers movie. How about no, Scott? See, I don't remember that, but y'all probably do. I'm really bad at movie trivia. But let's see here. These are what are these? One-liners. These are one-sentence truth bombs. Sorry, I don't get dizzy here. Some air you inhale was exhaled by Cleopatra. Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's kind of cool, which is true, right? Make before you manage. Tim Ferriss. Love Tim Ferriss. Any Tim Ferriss's fans out there? Make before you manage. You feel better when you create something instead of managing boring everyday tasks like email and cleaning. If you seek progress, create something. Well, that's a good thing to think about today. Make before you manage. You do you. I actually love this one. I talk about it a lot. We be we, you be you, I be me. All that. Which is unknown. That's funny because that seems like a really popular one. Let's see. If you haven't been told, you're weird. A few times along the way, you aren't doing it right. Sean Kernan. I like it. I like it. Get out of your comfort zone. Be weird. Embrace it. We can be weird. Embrace it. If it doesn't open, it's not your door. I actually really love that one. It's like, chill out, people. Don't try to knock down doors. Hello? If it doesn't open, it's not your door. Move on. It's a great way to handle rejection. Every opportunity is a door, and some doors are meant for you. It's no problem if the door doesn't open. Just move on. There's another door. Love that. Love that. You do not need to text your friend every single day to still be friends. Prince. How do you pronounce it? Is it Prince 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 EA? He kind of is Mr. Meme or Mr. Internet guy. Kind of came out of nowhere. The real friends are the ones that you haven't seen or spoken to in a while, who you instantly connect with again when you speak to. That's kind of my thing. I am not a big, especially with like my high school friends and older friends that I haven't seen in a while, I'm not really big on reaching out. But when I do or they do or whatever, it's like instant connection. In fact, I don't know if anyone's ever noticed this. If you go back to a high school reunion and at first in your mind, right, you think of them as they were when you were in high school. And then you see them at first and it's like, okay, it's a little different. There's a little aging. But after you start talking, about 3 to 5 minutes, maybe not even that, it seemed like, boom, all of a sudden that went away. And they just seemed and looked and felt like they were in high school. At least that's what I experienced. It's pretty cool. All right, next one is to live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people just exist. Well, that's good news to have. Man, I feel like these are awesome. I should pick one of these a day, every day, and bring them in. There are 2 ways to live your life. Exist or live. Your mind's default operating mode is to exist. This means that every day is a grind and you feel like things are happening to you, not for you. Oh, that's good. Yes, to live is to understand and act as though you could be dead tomorrow. Therefore, head up high, shoulders back, face forward. You got this. Love that. Oscar Wilde. You're the man. But here's my main man, Joseph Campbell, and he says, find a place inside where there's joy, and the joy will burn out the pain. My man, Joseph. Absolutely. Joe Campbell, father of the hero's journey. He is my man. Light overwhelms darkness. Joy towers over pain. If you feel pain, find your joy. I'll give you a clue. Joy is where you go when no one asks you to. You don't get paid for it. It's a default choice, and it's where you go when you want time back in your day to do it. You have some joy somewhere. Use it. Yes, he talks about the hero's journey as being the conquest of finding your bliss. It's one of the words he used here. Here it says joy. He uses the word bliss sometimes to be this joy that you just would do whenever, for whatever time. And you don't get paid for it, but you love doing it. And you can get lost in it. That's your inner joy. And I always say, and well, he says too, that if you follow this bliss, you follow this joy, meaning pay attention to it and love it, that it can lead you to your life's purpose, which can be a big topic, heavy for some people. It doesn't have to be. But if you're using something with joy and something connecting with helping people, you're probably going to find your purpose. Dr. Seuss, sometimes the questions are complicated and the answers are simple. I know. Become obsessed with questions. Questions are what make you listen to a podcast for 3 hours in a flow state and not even realize what's happening or how much time has elapsed. The right question asked the right way at the right time can change your life. Questions unlock your curiosity. Curiosity is where possibility is found. Ooh, that's another one. I got to start. These got to be start being the memes of the day, memes of the week. And finally, overwhelm is the enemy of passion and energy. Passion and energy become the hyper-focused when you focus on one thing. Yes. That's true. I love it. Let's not get overwhelmed. And with COVID and all the crazy stuff, it's easy to get overwhelmed. And we've got to guard against that. Yeah, those were pretty cool, weren't they, Ileana? All right, so I'm going to... What do you think about surrender? Okay. I'll pop you up, yeah. What does the hero journey say about surrender? Good question. Nice. I'm going to blow those away here. So, surrender is an interesting topic, and I'm letting my mind here catch up to it. I know for me that it's in those few times when I have surrendered that amazing things have happened. And the question I have is, why is it so hard to surrender? We are so stubborn. Our egos are so strong that it's almost a sin. It's almost terrible to surrender in all aspects, right? Now, the hero's journey, I'm trying to think if there's a stage that talks about surrender. Okay, yes. So in the hero's journey, we have the first 4 stages are really critical to everyone's life and to the stories in movies. And so stage 1 is the ordinary world. So this is where the story begins and you're just living your life. Stage 2 is the call to adventure. And this is when you have a calling or a knowing that there's something more for you out there, that you need to pursue it or explore it. But stage 3 is called refusal of the call, because we're afraid that we don't want to get out of our comfort zone. Yeah, we're having this calling. We know that there's more for us than what we're doing now. Our life may be a little boring now or a little stagnant. And we know we want more, but, that means I'm going to have to get out of my comfort zone. It means that I'm going to have to do new things that I'm not particularly comfortable with. And that's scary. And so we refuse the call. And we all do this. So the surrender can come in when we finally answer the call and we cross the threshold. That, of course, has to be surrender. And the key is in the hero's journey, and the key to our life, right, is to face our fear. That fear is always fear that's holding us back from being who we want to be, to getting where we want to get to, and it's always fear. And the surrender comes when it's almost this glorious surrender where we just say, and we don't. Sometimes we don't even say it. It's just we do it. We just jump off the diving board. We jump off the bridge into the river or whatever when we were kids. But we were even scared to do that. And it's just like, I just have this picture of you jump. Let's say you're. I don't know if you did this as a kid, but friends of mine, we would go to the river or whatever, and we'd jump off the bridge into the river. I don't know, it was 100 feet down or whatever, maybe more. Scary as hell, but it was fun. It was relatively safe, I guess. I don't know. Probably wasn't. But I remember when you jump, and just that minute you jump, so you've gotten past that fear, you jump, you're in the free fall, and you're freaking out, but in a way you're just like so relieved that you're jumping and that you've gotten past that, and then you prepare for plunging into the water, and then you bounce up in the water and you bounce out, and you're just so happy, you're so free. That feels like the surrender to me. Is like, I guess, midair, you've just surrendered, and you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you kind of know that you're going to land in the water, but the first time you've done it, you've never done it before, you really don't know, right? You don't expect. And what's going to happen when I hit the water? Am I going to get rushed down the stream? Is it going to be easy? Is it going to hurt? You don't know. I don't know why I picked that one, but it just popped into my head about my youth and surrender. Mr. Monty, we're talking about surrender today. That was Adriana's pick for things to talk about. And you get to pick too, Mr. Monty. I know you have a good question. You have a good topic. We're talking about whatever we want to talk about today. So be thinking of a good question or a topic to talk about, Monty. So that's what's in the hero's journey, that surrender into answering the call and then crossing the threshold, which is stage 5, into your journey. And now you're in the unknown world. And surrender, it's interesting. I don't use that word a lot, but that's clearly what it is getting past that fear, that sweet surrender, right? Don't they say? And I also have this feeling that there have been times when I've just sat there, and there have been days when I'm kind of struggling with a concept or a topic, or maybe it is a calling to something, and I'm just struggling with it, and I haven't decided, and I'm trying to think my way through it. And there's been a couple situations where I will just have a thought or idea, and sometimes this happens when I'm journaling, and that thought or idea will be almost a surrender, but it will be usually, I'll think through it and I'll think, oh, okay, that makes sense, and then I try that. Kind of feels like surrender. And then there are other times when I just forget about it, and I just go about my life. I get busy doing something else, and I just notice that what's been bothering me, or it just is gone sometimes. Kind of depends on how big of a thing it is. If it's a pretty big thing in my life, or something I'm really worried about or thinking about, it probably will come up again until I kind of rationalize it. But it's another interesting thing. I'm a thinker. I spend a lot of time. Sometimes I was going to say too much time, but that's me. Before I make decisions, before I do things, I spend a lot of time contemplating that. Surprise, probably no surprise to y'all, but a lot of other people don't do that. But it is my way, and I have to work through that. So I journal a lot, kind of let things ramble in my head a lot. But that's my way of doing it, and it works for me. Okay, so I like that, Adriana. Any comments that you might have, Adriana, on surrender for you? I do think that it is a key to self-growth, and for me it comes down to fear and getting past that, getting out of your comfort zone. And but it's critical. It really is. It is one of the keys to self-improvement, self-development, to growing. At some point, we all have to surrender. Now, there may be other topics. If there's other ways to view surrender. That's how I view it. How do you guys view it? Would you view it in a different way? Be curious to know that. All right, cool. Any other topics? So I'm gonna move on here to another article while y'all are thinking about things to talk about. Hold on here. Let me switch over my screen. There we go. 7 body parts that will disappear from the human body. I just found this funny. It's like, what? But it makes sense when I read over it. Check this out. Body hair. Yes, body hair is going to go away. And it just talks about, it says, do you recall hating that co-passenger who conveniently forgot to wash the smelly armpits? Yes. And again, this is talking about evolution. And we're going to evolve because we don't need ear muscles. Now, this is funny. It's like people that wiggle their ears have muscles in their ears, I guess. Well, that's going to go. So get all the ear wiggling you can in, because our ancestors won't have those. Male nipples, yep, they can go. Now, toes, I thought that was a weird one. Toes, it turns out the future human have been denied the privilege of excavating fallen treasures. Okay, blah, blah, blah. There was something here that was funny. Yeah, apparently, our pinky toes, due to this process, our pinky toes have dwarfed. Okay. However, the balance moves further away from the toes. They would just simply be fused. That's kind of weird, but I guess, I don't know, I guess it makes sense. Our pinky toe is tiny and our big toe, so we're moving further inward in our balance. I don't know, this is kind of weird. Tailbone, yeah, we don't need that. Goose flesh. Now, I guess I've heard it called this, but I call it goosebumps. What do y'all call it? I think they mean goosebumps, right? I guess that'll go away. And apparently, now this is funny. Why we have that? Okay, goose flesh comes in handy in projecting a larger size when in front of a predator to scare them away. Huh. That's goosebumps to make us look scarier? That's funny. I just thought this article was funny. Oh, wisdom teeth. Yeah, we can get rid of those. So these are the 7 body parts that will be going away in the future. Bada bang. Goosebumps. Yeah, that's what I call them too, Adriana. Yeah. Oh, let's get the camera back here. So, I don't know. That was kind of strange. Let's go back here and read your comment here, Adriana. I like it when it aligns with the hero's journey and just the letting go and the overcoming of the fear. Yeah, letting go of the fear, overcoming the fear is surrender. And it does. I mean, that's the thing about the hero's journey, and this is kind of fun. I may do this more often, is have people just ask any kind of questions and see if we can tie it back to the hero's journey, which I think we can, because it's the story of human existence. It's a story of human life, and it's been that way since the beginning of communication. And this is what Joseph Campbell studied and found out, that this is the I was going to say the movement, the flow of how humans move through their life. And it can be talked about or looked at in very small time frames or large time frames. My hero's journey that I documented in my book is about a 15-year journey. I had many little journeys inside of there, but the 15-year journey that I documented was the most significant, and it was a good overarching theme of my life. And that's what I help people do, is try to figure out what hero's journey that they've been on in their life. They may even be still in one. I actually, when I finished the book, I thought I was done. I thought I was to my stage 12, and I realized I wasn't. I was still in stage 11. So I was still in my journey, and I really have just finished that first main hero's journey that I documented, because it took me to really embrace being a life coach, really embrace being an author, and to get some clients and see how I can help them. And that then was really the culmination of it. I had begun that at the book. I had clients and I started that, but I wasn't really embracing being a life coach, being an author, a helper. I've been an engineer and a businessman, my whole career, and it took me a while to really embrace it and to be successful at it. And at that was really the culmination. And now, from that, now the next journey is now that I am embracing fully as life coach, and I've got clients, and I'm successful, and I've got audiences that I'm talking to. That's the next stage, because then it'll all unfold another hero's journey. And of course, when we finish one hero's journey, we move into the second one, or the next one. And we do so with all of the skills and the armor, in a good way, and tools that we found in our first hero's journey, or the prior hero's journey. We move into our next one with those skills, which is exciting, because it means that we're going to be more powerful. So just imagine the things that we can do in this next phase, this next hero's journey. And that's exciting to me. That's the life purpose part. That's embracing that and moving forward with it, and just being delighted in what's going to happen each day, living into this purpose, and knowing that I'm on this new journey. And I'm still going to go through these. I'm still going to have fear. I'm still going to have calls to adventure, and that call to adventure is, how can I really make an impact? How can I really make a difference? And so I bump up against that a lot, because I have imposter syndrome still, as we all do. Who am I, to help people? Who am I to be a life coach? And we all have that in our life. So that's still an area of fear for me. And there's parts that I haven't even really discovered yet in this next part of the hero's journey, my personal hero's journey. Monty, you still with me, man? What do we want to talk about? I think you got some sunshine there. Sunshine. Okay. Good. What else? Let's see. Let's see. Another story. Or not a story. Yeah, news story. So I talked about the panda. Baby panda. It's a boy. So they didn't know. Part of it is you can't get a hold of that little cub because the mother's protecting it so much, and they don't want to take it away. I think that's one of the reasons they didn't know the gender. But look at him. It's a boy. Oh, he's so cute. Funny thing is, they're always cute. They're cute even when they grow up. They're cute. Oh my gosh. I don't think they have a name though. Oh, I think they did. Oh, did they name it? Let me look here. La 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 la. Anybody know the name of this little baby cub? I didn't catch that. Oh wait, here it is. Oh wait, no, that's the father. TNT and. Okay, well, that's all I know in that one. Switch back here. I just thought that was something. I'm just looking for things to talk about that came up. Let's see, it's 9:36. Well, I don't see any more questions coming in or comments, so I'm going to read from my book. I'm going to read the introduction to my book. For those that you haven't read my book, Be the Hero of Your Life. This is the introduction. This will give you a basic idea of what the book's about, how to dive in. It's funny, I had this idea because I'm working on my audiobook right now. And I had to read, I've been testing a lot of the audio. And I'll have to show you a picture someday, but I've got in my bedroom, I have a table with my microphone that's facing into my closet, because all of the clothes in my closet are dampening the sound. And then I got this big blanket that comes over me. So I'm in this little cocoon reading this. It's kind of a pain in the butt, and I've been procrastinating this forever. And I finally started this the other day. And I still had to send it in to my editor to test it and see if the audio's still good. But I had read through a couple of these, and I thought, it's a good synopsis, really, to talk about what the book's about. Oh, we have another comment from Indiana. Do you think the hero's journey can only be applied to humans? Could it be applied to other animals? Oh my gosh, what a cool question. I've never thought about that. And in fact, as far as I know, Joseph Campbell, he doesn't talk about that. I'm going to have to think on that one, Adiana. I'd like to explore a little more about that, what you think, because asking that question, you have a thought about that. And I don't really want to just throw out something because I think my first thought is no, the brains are completely different. Humans are completely different in the brain functions. We're the only animals that have the brain capacity to really think about something like this. And really, this is a thought process. They probably do, go through their own little journey. I don't think that their minds, though, can think through it or know what's going on, which is really the whole concept of this, is understanding what's going on in your life. I mean, they're running through this. So you wondering if the baby panda had a hero's journey to go on? Well, I mean, that's interesting because from our perspective, we can kind of make that up. We can kind of extrapolate and think, well, if this little panda has a human brain, what would its journey? It's clearly going to be on a journey, and we could extrapolate. That might be a fun little exercise for me to do or somebody to do, is to kind of create a little hero's journey. It would be like a story. It would be like a story of, because really the panda can't know or think that it's on a journey. And Adriana, you're getting in there. Do they have a purpose? A greater purpose than to just be here. Wow, you are blowing my mind, girl. That's cool. I had never thought of this, and that's pretty cool. I love animals. I think they have communication with us. I think it's just fantastic, and I love the videos where you'll seeing these animals, especially of different species, who they protect other animals, and I just think that's amazing. So animals are amazing. Do they have a purpose? That's amazing. Since they can't reason, that's what's so interesting. I mean, we can extrapolate and think that they have ideas and purposes, but it's really it's our mental construct, because they don't have that capacity in the brain. I mean, I'm not saying they're not smart and intelligent, but this kind of capacity to look at your own life and evaluate it is uniquely human. But in their own little way, it's fun to think about. It's fun to think about. Well, I'll talk about that a little later, because those are interesting questions that I don't know. Maybe you can talk about it on your show, and I'll come watch and see what you think. Love that. Thank you. All right. Let's close it out with a little hero's journey introduction. You ready? I'm going to read this. I'm going to see if I can do this. And look, I don't know. We'll see. Well, anyways, I'm going to read it like I did for my audiobook. Introduction. How the hero's journey can help you achieve your purpose. In the summer of 2001, I was in the shower when I suddenly heard a voice in my head that said, "This is no way to live life. You must be doing something wrong." Life had just spiraled out of control. Here I was, living in a beautiful house in a great city with a wife, 2 healthy children, and a good corporate job. Yet, I was miserable. My health was failing, my marriage was falling apart, and my job had just become stagnant and unfulfilling. I was simply going through the motions of life. That morning, I was hoping that the hot water would relax my extremely painful back and neck muscles. About a year earlier, I had noticed that my right shoulder ached after I was playing catch with my son, so I made what would become the first of many physical therapy and doctor's appointments. But the pain just kept getting worse, and it started spreading through my neck and my back. And I kept trying new doctors and physical therapists, and I was exhausted and in chronic pain. I even tried a whole host of alternative therapies, including cortisone shots, physical therapy, acupuncture, red light laser therapy, as well as massage and chiropractic therapies. That morning in 2001 began one of the most significant days of my life, though it would be more than 15 years until I recognized that it was the day I woke up, focused internally, and stopped blaming the outside world for my problems. I had no clue what I was going to do, but I knew that I needed to change my thinking before I could heal and live a healthy and fulfilling life again. Do you have big hopes and dreams, aspirations that you haven't been able to achieve? Have fear, doubt, and worry stopped you from doing what you know you're meant to do? Have you found that with each passing year, your regrets seem to grow while your list of dreams and accomplishments never materializes? Maybe now is the time to make your dreams of being prosperous and fulfilled a reality. Maybe it's time to have more clarity and confidence in your work and your life, and uncover your purpose and live the life of your dreams. Anyone who knows that there's more to life than what they are currently experiencing will want to read this book. Many people know that they're stuck, but they don't know how to get unstuck and how to find their purpose and move forward. I stumbled upon the hero's journey concept while I was studying documentary filmmaking. It was originally attributed by the mythologist Joseph Campbell, but has been refined by many authors and scholars to depict a common theme used in all stories and movies. As you will see, by using Campbell's initial concept of the hero's journey as a map of your own life, you will understand who you truly are and that you've always been the hero in your own life story. Learning about what makes us tick enhances our self-motivation and self-management, resulting in self-respect. So how did I do it? Well, read on. This book is the final stage of my first hero's journey because, as you will see, the journey ends with the sharing of your story with others, thereby helping them identify their own story and thus begin the process of finding their purpose and living their true, authentic lives. And then we start our journey, and then we start our next journey with new powers and insights. I'm just an average guy with an uneventful life, and I have little to complain about, and my suffering pales in comparison to that of many others. And I know I'm not alone. I feel that there may be a lot of us who have had nice lives, yet are stuck and suffer. We all suffer, but some have the capacity to let things go and forge on while others can't. It's my hope that after reading my story, you'll realize that you are a hero, the hero of your own story. I hope that you will answer the call to take your hero's journey, thereby finding health, happiness, and a fulfilling, purpose-driven life. In this book, we will dissect the stages of the hero's journey. I've included examples from our favorite movies to show how Hollywood uses the hero's journey as a story structure. For each stage, I will also detail my own personal hero's journey, which will be used as an example when it's your turn to put your life into your hero's journey. You'll be able to place yourself in your own hero's journey. You will learn how to identify how your life has been influenced by each stage of the journey and where your life and you have identified with the hero. Finally, you'll understand that you've done the best you could at the time, which allows you to be the hero of your own life. You see, when we realize that our life has made us who we are today, we begin to feel empowered to take risks, start trusting our own guidance, and truly live our best authentic life. In addition to understanding and healing, you will also learn about the powerful guided meditations, visualizations, and thought-provoking exercises that can help you fully integrate the lessons learned on your journey. These exercises and tools are designed to help you understand past traumas and fully heal as you move forward from one stage to the next. We'll explore the ancient principles of human thought and consciousness and help recognize how we think and how it dictates how we live. Once you know the path of your hero's journey, you will need to apply the latest research on how to live a genuinely extraordinary life. We will then dive into the amazing scientific work of Dr. Joe Dispenza and his quantum thinking model, where we will learn to train our brains to think differently. If you've been stuck or feel there's more to life, it's most likely because you've been focusing on symptoms instead of getting to the root cause of your suffering. Learning about your own hero's journey will help you discover why you're stuck and help you heal and move forward so you can begin to live your true, authentic, and purposeful life. The only difference between people who truly thrive in all areas of life and those who are stuck and stagnant is that the former have heard the call to adventure and stepped out of their comfortable, ordinary world to begin walking forward into their hero's journey. The hero's journey asks you to answer the call and move forward from your ordinary world into the unknown world. It's not only the thing you fear the most, but it's real work, and it's hard, but you can do it. You know you must do it. Joseph Campbell once said, "The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek." You have a deep understanding that there's something more significant for you, and you're finally ready to figure it out. To find and live your true authentic life, though, you've got to wander through the desert of your traumas. You've got to get to the root cause of what's been keeping you stuck. And you've got to be more honest with yourself than probably you've ever been. You've got to face your biggest fears, stare it right in the face, and walk through it. This is serious work, but it will pay off at the highest rewards this life has to offer. It will not be easy. You will want to quit, and you will make lots of mistakes. It's going to be messy and scary, but that's okay. Don't give up. Stay with the process and see it through. Your life depends on it. That is the introduction to Be the Hero of Your Life. So it's funny, when I'm doing that for my audiobook, I can't mess up. And there you can see, as I read, I just kind of went through there. But as I'm doing this on recording my audiobook, I have an editor that's going to go through and edit all this. But when I mess up and it doesn't flow perfect, because on the audiobook, when you download the book from Audible and you're paying $4.95 for it, or $14.95, excuse me, or what it is, or $1 credit, it has to be perfect. And so basically when I kind of fib up or it's not a perfect sentence, I just snap my fingers and I read it again. And most of the time I can get it in that first snap, I read it again, and then I'm good. But sometimes I just can't, there's a phrase that I just can't, it doesn't sound right, and I'll do that over, and I'll read it, and I'll do it over. And sometimes it's 2 or 3 times. But it's interesting because I've read the introduction in chapter 1 a couple different times in different testing and scenarios. I've got those down because I've read them a lot. But it's going to be interesting as I get into 4, 5, and 6 that I really haven't read through that much, how fluid that will be. But anyway, so that's a little bit of that. Yeah, you're welcome, Adiana. So yeah, I may read some more at later points if people liked that. Sometimes it's fun to just have people read to you. And in my book signings, I actually haven't done a book signing where I actually read parts of the book. I know that there are some out there, and hopefully someday I'll be able to do those. So I just thought I would read some of that since I've been kind of practicing it, and it helps me practice to get my audiobook out there. So anyway, so great. Well, thanks for joining. Thanks, Adiana, for your questions. I'm going to sign off today. And hopefully next time I'll have my Stream Deck, my gadget. Monty, if you're on here, I got my Stream Deck. I haven't even figured out how to use it yet or plug it in. But that's kind of cool. I also, you can see my background's a little bit different because I'm preparing and setting up so that I can actually stand up and be able to do my lives. So I'm kind of working on a new background, a new setup here. I want to be able to move a little bit, not necessarily for these weekly lives, but if I do some more of my trainings, that's going to be done remotely now since we're all in COVID. So I'm kind of preparing and getting ready for that. So we'll see, and I'll get to practice. So great. Thanks, Adiana. Have a great day. See everybody, and we'll talk to you next week on Hero Live Hump Day. Bye-bye.